Imagine waking up each day with the unshakable ability to remain calm, no matter what the world throws at you. What if stress, conflict, or criticism couldn't touch your inner peace? In an age where noise is constant, distractions are endless, and emotions run high, mastering your mind has become not just a skill, but a necessity. Welcome to a journey of modern Stoicism, where ancient wisdom meets today's chaos. In this video, we'll uncover timeless principles that empower you to face adversity with clarity, to detach from what you cannot control, and to live with purpose in a world that's constantly trying to pull you off track. These are not abstract ideas for philosophers in robes. These are practical, grounded tools you can use right now, whether you're dealing with burnout, heartbreak, toxic relationships, or the pressure of expectations. If you've ever felt overwhelmed or lost in the noise of modern life, you're in the right place. This channel is built for thinkers, seekers, and everyday warriors like you, who want more than just motivation, who want transformation. So if you find value in what we shared today, hit the like button, subscribe, and join our community of mindful growth. Let's build a life that no chaos can shake. One choice, one breath, one lesson at a time. Let's begin. Part 1. Master your emotions. Reclaim your inner power. In a world that constantly tests our limits, emotional control isn't a luxury, it's a survival skill. Whether it's a snide remark from a co-worker, a relationship conflict, or that surge of frustration when your plans fall apart, our emotional reactions often take over before we even realize it. The heart races, the mind spins, the tension builds. And before we know it, we've said something we regret, acted out of impulse, or let someone else dictate our peace of mind. The Stoics had a different approach. They didn't suppress emotions, they studied them. They believed that emotions are not inherently bad. They're signals. Signals that, when understood, can lead us to deep self-awareness. But when left unchecked, they cloud our judgment and steal our freedom. The first step: realize that you are not your emotions. You experience them, but they don't define you. Anger, fear, sadness, they're waves on the surface of your inner ocean. But beneath them lies something still, something steady, your power to choose how you respond. Take a moment, breathe in, breathe out. When you feel the anger rising or anxiety creeping in, pause, count to 4. Inhale, hold, exhale slowly. This isn't just breath work, it's reclaiming space between stimulus and response. It's in that space that your power lives. And here's the beauty: each time you choose calm over chaos, patience over reaction, you build a new habit, a new neural pathway toward inner resilience. Over time, that pause becomes your new instinct. You become less like a candle in the wind and more like a mountain in a storm. But how do we reinforce this strength? Through small daily rituals. Affirmations like, "I remain calm," "I choose clarity," might sound simple, but repeated consistently, they anchor your nervous system. They remind your mind who's in charge. Another key technique: reframing. When someone offends you, ask, "Is this about me, or are they acting from their own pain?" 9 out of 10 times, it's the latter. And that shift in perspective not only dissolves your anger, it frees you from unnecessary suffering. It's also helpful to visualize your emotions like visitors knocking at the door. You don't have to invite them in. Acknowledge them, observe them, let them pass. In modern life, the inability to regulate emotions is a silent epidemic. It wrecks relationships, sabotages careers, and eats away at self-esteem. But imagine what your life would look like if you met every challenge with composure. If no insult could unbalance you. If stress lost its grip on your spirit. That's not a fantasy. It's a skill. And like all skills, it can be practiced, it can be strengthened, and it can be yours. So the next time life tries to shake you, try this. Pause, breathe, reframe. Choose calm, not because life is easy, but because you are stronger than your emotions. That's Stoicism in action, not passive, not numb, but powerfully present. And in today's world, presence is the greatest superpower you can have. Part 2. Don't take it personally. Free yourself from invisible chains. One of the quickest ways to lose peace is to take things personally. You get criticized at work and suddenly feel like you're not good enough. A friend forgets to call you back and you start wondering if you did something wrong. Someone cuts you off in traffic and your blood pressure shoots up, not because of the act itself, but because of what it meant to you. But here's a Stoic truth that will transform your life. What others do is rarely about you. It's about them, their stress, their story, their perspective, their pain. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. Things disturb us because we give them meaning." Let that sink in. The person who insulted you may be carrying a lifetime of frustration. The colleague who talked over you might be battling their own insecurity. The partner who snapped at you could be exhausted from 1,000 things that have nothing to do with you. Yet, we interpret these moments as judgments of our worth. We internalize their actions and make them personal. And when we do, we hand them our power. The Stoic alternative: observe. Don't absorb. Yes, you heard that right. You can observe someone's words or actions without absorbing them into your identity. You can acknowledge them, analyze them, but not let them take root in your soul. Imagine someone throws a hot coal at you. You don't catch it, you step aside. The same goes for emotional attacks. You can let them pass without letting them burn you. That shift in perspective isn't just intellectual, it's liberating. Here's how to apply this in real life. 1. Pause before you react. Ask yourself, is this really about me? Most of the time it isn't. 2. Remind yourself of your worth at Schrola. Your value doesn't decrease because someone failed to see it. Their inability to recognize your light doesn't dim your brightness. 3. Respond with compassion or not at all. Sometimes silence is stronger than any comeback. And when you do respond, choose words that reflect your integrity, not their behavior. 4. Let go of the baggage. Don't carry someone else's emotional mess into your inner world. Picture their words like a passing cloud. You see it, you let it drift. There is immense power in non-reactivity. It's not about being passive or weak. It's about being so anchored in who you are that the chaos around you cannot shake your core. You don't need to control others. You only need to not let their chaos become yours. And in today's world where everyone's in a rush, where opinions fly like arrows and where misunderstandings happen in seconds, this ability is rare. But you can be that rare presence, that calm in the storm, that quiet strength that doesn't flinch when provoked. Because the truth is, what people say about you tells you far more about them than it does about you. So walk freely, breathe deeply, and remind yourself, I don't take things personally, not because I'm indifferent, but because I'm in control. That's not avoidance, that's evolution. And you deserve to evolve unburdened, undisturbed, and untouchable. Part 3. Let go of material attachments. Discover a freedom that can't be bought. We live in a world where our worth is often measured by what we have, not who we are. Your phone model, your car, your clothes, the number of followers you have. Society sends one message loud and clear: you are what you own. But here's the Stoic truth: you don't need more to be more. Epictetus, once a slave who became one of the most influential Stoic teachers, said it best: wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Modern life is built to stir constant dissatisfaction. Ads are designed to make you feel like you're missing something until you buy it. And then, just like that, the void returns. So we chase more things, more status, more approval. But at what cost? We trade our time, our peace, even our identity for things that promise happiness, but rarely deliver. We build our self-worth on fragile foundations. Stuff that can be lost, broken, stolen, or outshined by the next upgrade. Stoicism invites us to ask a deeper question. Who are you when the titles are stripped away, when the noise fades, when you're simply you? If your sense of identity crumbles without the car, the house, the career label, then maybe it's time to rebuild on sturdier ground. Let go of the idea that your value depends on external validation. Let go of the belief that more equals better. Let go of the silent fear that you are not enough. Because the truth is, you already are. You are enough when you act with integrity. You are enough when you live according to your principles. You are enough when you wake up each day and choose growth over comfort, truth over illusion. Now, let's be clear. There's nothing wrong with success, with wealth, or with nice things. The danger lies in needing them to feel whole. When your happiness becomes dependent on something outside of you, you're no longer free. You're a prisoner to comparison, to fear of loss, to the approval of others. But when you detach, you reclaim your power. You start living from the inside out, not the outside in. That's what real freedom looks like. It's waking up and knowing your worth doesn't fluctuate with your bank account. It's being able to enjoy success without being enslaved by it. It's having the strength to walk away from things that don't align with your values, even if they look shiny on the outside. And the best part, when you stop chasing what you don't need, you make space for what truly matters. Presence, purpose, peace, the kind of wealth that can't be taxed, stolen, or devalued. So today, ask yourself, what am I clinging to that's actually weighing me down? What would my life look like if I let go of this need to prove myself through possessions? The answer might surprise you, because sometimes letting go isn't losing. It's winning your freedom back. That's not minimalism, that's mastery. And in a world obsessed with accumulation, detachment is rebellion, a quiet, powerful rebellion led not by ego, but by clarity. Part 4. Reframe your perspective. The power to see things differently. Life doesn't always ask for your permission before it changes course. A relationship ends. A job slips through your hands. Someone you trusted disappoints you. And in those moments, it's easy to fall into despair, asking, why me? But the Stoics invite us to ask a more empowering question. What else could this mean? Because the truth is, events don't hurt us. Our interpretation of those events does. Epictetus once said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. This isn't just ancient wisdom. It's a life-changing mindset. In modern life, we're bombarded by unexpected situations. Some are mildly inconvenient, others shake us to the core. But every situation, yes, every single one, carries more than one possible meaning. And the one you choose to give it determines your emotional experience. Let's say someone you care about chooses someone else. You could see it as rejection or redirection, a dead end or divine protection, an ending or the beginning of something more aligned with your true self. You see, pain is real, but suffering, that's optional. Suffering is what happens when you cling to the belief that life should be different than it is. And the Stoic path is to accept what is, then find power in it. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's not about denying reality or pretending everything is fine. It's about saying, this is happening. I may not like it, but I can choose how I respond to it. And in that response lies your liberation. Here's how to practice this Stoic reframing in your everyday life. 1. When something difficult happens, pause. Ask yourself, what else could this mean? Dig for a lesson, a redirection, a hidden blessing. It's there, if you look with new eyes. Shift from why is this happening to me to how is this happening for me? This one shift alone can move you from victimhood to victory. 3. Zoom out. Sometimes our pain feels overwhelming because we're viewing life through a microscope. Zoom out. Imagine how this moment fits into your whole story, not just this chapter. 4. Find the humor where you can. Life has a strange sense of irony, and sometimes the very thing that breaks you today becomes the story you laugh about tomorrow. Laughter doesn't mean you're not taking life seriously. It means you're not letting it crush you. Every day, life will give you moments that invite either frustration or freedom. Your power lies in the lens you choose. So the next time life surprises you, disappoints you, or flips your plans upside down, remember this: you are not powerless. You have the ability to reframe, refocus, and rise. Because a new perspective doesn't just change how you feel, it changes who you become. And that's the Stoic way. Not just surviving challenges, but transforming them into fuel for growth. When you change how you see the world, you change your world. Part 5. Live your own truth. Break free from the expectations of others. How many decisions in your life were made to please someone else? The career you chose, the relationships you stayed in, the way you dress, speak, act, all shaped, at least in part, by the invisible weight of other people's expectations. We are taught from an early age to fit in, to meet standards, to perform roles we didn't choose. But living for validation is a prison, soft, silent, and suffocating. The Stoics believe that freedom is not the absence of responsibility, it's the presence of authenticity. You are free the moment you stop needing approval. You are powerful the moment you act according to your own values, not someone else's vision for your life. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easier than ever to get lost in comparison. We scroll past highlight reels and wonder if we're falling behind. We're surrounded by people telling us who we should be, what success should look like. But here's the truth. Success has no universal definition. It's not a mansion or a million followers. It's alignment. It's waking up each day and knowing you're living a life that makes sense to you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And if your thoughts are consumed with impressing others, you're building your joy on shaky ground. So how do you return to yourself in a world that constantly pulls you away? Start by asking, if no one was watching, what would I choose? If no one could judge me, what would I pursue? If I trusted my inner voice more than outer noise, where would it lead me? The answers might scare you. They might lead to change, to discomfort, but they'll also lead to freedom. Living authentically doesn't mean being reckless, it means being real. It means honoring your values even when they're unpopular. It means walking your path even if others don't understand it. Yes, you'll disappoint people, yes, you'll be misunderstood, but the cost of betraying yourself to be accepted is far higher. And here's the twist, when you live your truth, you don't just liberate yourself, you give others permission to do the same. You become a mirror that reflects what's possible. You show the world that peace isn't found in pretending, it's found in being. The Stoic path isn't about isolation, it's about integration. It's about bringing your full, honest self into the world without apology. So today, let go of the need to be liked. Let go of the pressure to follow a script. Let go of the fear that being yourself isn't enough, because it is. The people who matter will respect you more. The path you walk will feel lighter, and the life you build will finally feel like yours. So take a deep breath, step off the stage, and step into your truth. You don't need permission. You just need to begin. Part 6. Embrace change. Stop resisting. Start evolving. Change is life's only constant, yet it's the very thing we fear the most. We cling to what's familiar. We hold on to jobs, relationships, routines, even when they no longer serve us, simply because they're known. The unknown, that's terrifying. But here's a Stoic truth that flips the fear of change on its head. It's not change that hurts us, it's our resistance to it. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In the same way, it is not change that breaks us. It's the tight grip on certainty that does. In today's fast-moving world, things are evolving faster than ever. Technology, careers, relationships, beliefs, nothing stays still for long. And if we try to, we risk becoming stuck in a life that's no longer aligned with who we are. But what if we saw change not as a threat, but as a teacher? What if we approached uncertainty with curiosity, not fear? Because change doesn't mean losing control, it means shifting how we respond. It means letting go of rigid expectations and opening ourselves up to new outcomes. That's the Stoic way, meeting the unknown with clarity, not chaos. Let's look at how you can apply this mindset in real life. 1. Acknowledge what you're afraid to let go of. Is it the comfort of your routine, the identity tied to a title, the illusion of stability in a relationship that no longer fulfills you? Identify what you're resisting. Awareness is always the first step. 2. Ask, what is this change trying to show me? Every shift, no matter how painful, carries a message, a lesson. Maybe it's asking you to grow, to adapt, or to finally move in the direction of your potential. 3. Shift from control to choice. You may not control what happens, but you do control how you engage with it. Change isn't the enemy, it's the doorway. And you get to choose whether to walk through it with fear or with power. 4. Practice detachment from outcomes. The Stoics remind us that fixation on a specific result leads to suffering. When you act from your values and let go of needing things to go a certain way, you become unshakable, no matter the outcome. And here's something powerful to remember. Most of your growth will come from places you didn't plan for. From setbacks that cracked open new insight, from endings that made space for beginnings, from letting go of something only to find something better. So when change arrives, whether through loss, opportunity, or crisis, don't close your fists, open your hands, receive the lesson, trust the shift. Step forward, even if your knees shake, because the more you resist, the more you suffer. But the more you surrender to life's natural flow, the more you evolve. And in that evolution, you'll find not just survival, but strength, not just adjustment, but awakening. The Stoics didn't fear change. They walked into it with eyes wide open because they knew that the only thing more dangerous than uncertainty is standing still. Part 7. Trust yourself. Build the inner confidence that can't be shaken. In a world overflowing with noise, opinions, and pressure, the most radical act of self-liberation is this: to trust yourself, not blindly, not arrogantly, but deeply, quietly, from a place of knowing, not proving. We are conditioned to seek validation from everywhere, but within, we ask others what we should do. We look for signs, for approval, for reassurance. But every time we outsource our authority, we chip away at our own confidence. The Stoics saw things differently. They believed that real power begins when you recognize that you already hold the answers. Not out there, but in here. Inside your reasoning, inside your moral compass, inside your calm mind when the world goes mad. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you look there." So what does that look like today, in real life? It means trusting your judgment, even when it goes against popular opinion. It means acting with integrity, not convenience. It means making choices from your principles, not your fears. It doesn't mean you'll never be uncertain. It means that in uncertainty, you'll stay grounded, because you've built something steady inside. Here's how to develop this Stoic self-trust in the modern world. 1. Start keeping promises to yourself. Every time you follow through, whether it's showing up for a workout, sticking to a budget, or honoring your boundaries, you send a message to your mind: I can trust me. And that message, repeated daily, becomes a core belief. 2. Quiet the noise. You can't hear your own wisdom if you're drowning in opinions. Create space, digitally and mentally, to listen to your inner voice. Journal. Meditate. Take walks without your phone. Reconnect with yourself without interference. 3. Accept your imperfections. You don't need to be perfect to trust yourself. You only need to be honest. True self-confidence is built not by pretending you know everything, but by knowing you'll handle whatever comes. 4. Detach from outcomes. When you base your confidence on results, you become fragile. But when you base it on effort, on intention, on values, you become resilient. You stop asking, did I succeed? And start asking, did I stay true? And most importantly, forgive yourself. There will be moments when you falter, when doubt creeps in, when you make the wrong call. That's not failure, that's feedback. That's part of learning how to trust yourself better next time. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel behind, unsure, unqualified, but when you build a solid foundation within, one decision at a time, you begin to walk differently. You stop chasing certainty and start embodying clarity. You don't need the world's permission to be confident, you just need your own. Because when you trust yourself, you can move through life with quiet strength, unafraid, unshaken, rooted in something no storm can touch. That's not just confidence, that's character. Part 8. Know yourself deeply. Turn self-criticism into strength. There's a voice inside you. Sometimes it whispers, other times it shouts. It points out your flaws, highlights your mistakes, reminds you where you fall short. And for many, that voice becomes a source of shame, paralysis, or burnout. But the Stoics didn't run from that voice. They engaged with it. They turned self-criticism into self-knowledge, and self-knowledge into self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change. For I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed." In a world obsessed with looking perfect, the courage to look within is rare and powerful. Self-awareness isn't about judgment, it's about clarity. It's asking yourself, where am I operating from ego? And where am I guided by wisdom? Am I living in alignment with my values or drifting from them? What patterns am I repeating that no longer serve me? These questions are not easy, but they are essential. Because without reflection, there is no growth. And without growth, we're not living, we're just repeating. In the modern world where comparison and projection are constant, it's easy to look outward for answers. We analyze others, we criticize systems, we blame circumstances. But the Stoic path always brings us back to the only thing we can truly control, ourselves. And here's the good news. The more you know yourself, not the curated, polished version, but the raw, honest truth, the more empowered you become. You stop pretending, you stop performing, and you start evolving. Here's how to practice this Stoic self-awareness daily. 1. Journal with radical honesty. Don't just write what sounds good. Write what's real. What triggered you today? What did you avoid? What did you do well, and where did you fall short? This is your laboratory for growth. 2. View your flaws with curiosity, not shame. Your flaws aren't signs of failure. They're feedback. Every fear, every impulse, every mistake, they're clues. Messages from your inner world that deserve your attention, not your punishment. 3. Ask others for feedback, but filter it wisely. Not all criticism is created equal, but when it comes from a place of truth or care, don't ignore it. Even painful feedback can be a mirror reflecting what you need to see. 4. Celebrate your progress. Self-awareness isn't only about correcting flaws, it's also about recognizing growth. Acknowledge the ways you've matured. Honor your resilience. See how far you've come. In today's culture, we're told to believe in ourselves, but Stoicism goes deeper. Don't just believe, understand. Understand your strengths, understand your weaknesses, and use both to live more intentionally. Because true self-respect isn't built on arrogance. It's built on self-knowledge, on knowing exactly who you are, and choosing to grow anyway. So the next time your inner critic speaks up, don't silence it. Listen, learn, and lead yourself forward. That's not self-doubt, that's self-discipline. And it's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Part 9. Laugh at yourself. The secret strength of self-IVE can be absurd. You plan something perfectly and everything goes sideways. You take yourself seriously, then stumble in public. You think you're making progress and suddenly hit a wall. It's frustrating, sometimes painful, occasionally humiliating. But if there's one underrated superpower in all of this, it's the ability to laugh at yourself. Yes, laugh. Not to dismiss your experiences, not to belittle your pain, but to rise above it with grace, humility, and lightness. The Stoics valued discipline and clarity, but they also valued perspective. They knew that seriousness without softness becomes rigidity, and when we take ourselves too seriously, we lose our ability to adapt, to grow, and to connect. Imagine this: you're working hard on a goal, you're making progress, and then, boom, You mess up, you fall, you freeze, you fail. What if, instead of spiraling into shame or frustration, you took a deep breath and said, well, that was awkward, but hey, it makes a great story. That moment of levity doesn't erase the mistake, but it does disarm its power to define you. Because here's the truth. You will mess up, you will trip, you will get it wrong, and that's okay. That's human. What separates those who drown in failure from those who grow from it isn't talent, it's attitude. And one of the most resilient attitudes is self-irony. The art of laughing at your own missteps without losing self-respect. Here's what makes self-irony so powerful in today's world. Let me know if you need anything else. 1. It builds emotional agility. When you can laugh at yourself, you stop fearing failure. You become more willing to try, to risk, to experiment, because you've made peace with imperfection. 2. It lightens the emotional load. Let's face it, life is already heavy. A little humor is a way to exhale, to take pressure off your shoulders and say, this moment doesn't have to break me. It can teach me and maybe even entertain me. 3. It creates connection. When you admit your flaws with humor, you become more relatable. You break the illusion of perfection, and others feel safe around your authenticity. Vulnerability with a smile is disarming. 4. It reminds you that failure is part of the journey. If you're growing, you're going to stumble. That's not weakness, it's progress in motion. Laughing at your missteps doesn't erase your effort. It highlights your courage to keep going. And perhaps most importantly, humor is a form of perspective. It says, this might feel big now, but one day I'll look back and smile. Why wait? Smile now. The Stoics taught us to control what we can, accept what we can't, and remain calm in the face of both. Laughter, especially directed at ourselves, is one of the most stoic things we can do, because it shows we're not owned by pride, we're not attached to image, we're not afraid of appearing foolish, because we know that our strength runs deeper than appearance. So the next time life knocks you down, try this. Laugh, get back up, dust yourself off, and whisper, that one's going in the blooper reel. You'll be surprised how powerful you feel when you stop needing to look powerful all the time. Part 10. Let go of the past. Free yourself to live fully now. We all carry stories. Some are beautiful, some are bitter, but all of them, no matter how deeply etched into our memory, are just that, stories. The past can teach us, shape us, and remind us, but it should never trap us. Yet so many of us live with one foot stuck in yesterday, replaying regrets, holding on to grudges, or yearning for moments that no longer exist. The Stoics saw this for what it is, an illusion. They believed that clinging to the past is one of the surest ways to miss the gift of the present. And in today's world, where nostalgia and regret are often romanticized, their wisdom feels more relevant than ever. Here's the truth. You can't change what happened. You can't rewrite the decisions, the disappointments, the detours, but you can choose what meaning you give them now. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And that includes your relationship with the past. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing the emotional weight. It means allowing yourself to move forward without dragging the chains of what once was. Because the more you grip the past, the less room you have for the present. And it's in the present that life actually happens. So how do we let go in a world that constantly reminds us of what we've lost? 1. Rewrite the narrative. Stop telling yourself that your past was a failure. Start telling yourself that it was a classroom. Every mistake, every heartbreak, every missed opportunity, it taught you something. It grew you. It brought you here. 2. Detach from identities tied to old versions of you. You are not your worst day. You are not your broken moments. You are the person who survived them and who continues to evolve. 3. Let go of emotional residue. Practice forgiveness, not for them, but for you. You deserve to feel light again. You deserve to be free. And freedom begins where resentment ends. 4. Bring your focus back to now. Use your senses, feel your breath, see what's around you. Because the present moment is the only place where healing, growth, and peace actually happen. The Stoics weren't about suppressing emotions, they were about processing them with wisdom, and then releasing what no longer serves. So, if something from your past still haunts you, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What am I ready to release? Who do I want to become now? Because letting go isn't giving up, it's opening up. It's saying, I choose today. I choose now. I choose to live forward, not backward. You don't have to erase your past, but you don't need to relive it either. Today is a clean slate. And every moment you reclaim from the past is a moment gained for your future. That's Stoicism. That's power. That's peace. You've just walked through timeless wisdom. 10 Stoic principles that have survived empires, wars, heartbreaks, and revolutions. Not because they are ancient, but because they are eternally relevant. And now they belong to you. In a world that glorifies noise, Stoicism teaches stillness. In a culture obsessed with perfection, it reminds you to be real. And in moments of chaos, it gives you something no one else can offer: inner freedom. You don't have to control everything. You don't need to have it all figured out. You only need to return again and again to what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your response. Because the truth is this: life will continue to test you. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. But the power to stay grounded, calm, and clear, that power is always within reach, as long as you're willing to practice. Not once, not perfectly, but consistently. Maybe some of these principles resonated more than others. Maybe you saw yourself in one or several. That's a beautiful place to start. Begin with just one. Maybe it's choosing not to take things personally today, or pausing before reacting, or forgiving yourself for something long overdue. These small moments are not small. They are seeds, and if you nurture them patiently, intentionally, they will grow into a life rooted in wisdom, resilience, and peace. That's what Stoicism offers you. Not just a philosophy, but a way to live. And if this message has brought even a moment of clarity, calm, or courage into your day, then carry it forward, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to this channel to walk further on this path with us, because the Stoic life isn't lived alone. It's lived together, one honest breath, one mindful choice, one brave day at a time.